Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everyone in between. And I say that, everyone in between, I'm going to pause there for just a second.
Oh, jeez, I know what you're going to say.
Because fuck North Carolina and that stupid law.
Crazy.
We could talk about that some other time. And everyone in between, welcome to the Everything and Nothing Show. I'm just one of your hostess with the mostest, Clayton Kisco, and I'm accompanied, of course, by the rest of the Maelstrom Gamers. With us on this podcast today, we have the Heartthrob.
Oh, I'm going to go
AKA
first.
Backdoor.
He was like, you made a hooting noise.
Yeah. I switched it up.
AKA the back door. Dude.
AKA
Stop
Backdoor.
giving me that.
AKA backdoor, AKA blue headphones.
Blue
AKA
headphones. You can give me
Man
that
Bun.
one. Got another blue shirt.
Oh, where's the man bun? No man bun.
AKA
Oh, yeah.
Blue
I saw that shirt. Be honest, I saw that shirt, and I was like, Rocco's gonna get that shirt.
I was just
so I'm
trying
not
to-
The
gonna get
man
it.
really
too
trying
hot
to
to
show you
freeze
the
and too
shirt.
cool to
Did
melt.
you just shake your tits at us?
Yes, you did. Do it again. Yeah, there you go.
AKA tit shaker.
Oh man.
Rocco Avellino. How you doing, Rocco?
Oh, I'm doing good. Look at this. Stretching.
Yeah.
Thank you. And next up, we have the man formerly
The
known
legend.
as the Man in the Mask, the Enigma. He is the wild card, Ian Kane.
Oh,
What's going on, fellas?
Check
Perfect
his
pal
phone.
forever.
Wild card.
No
All right,
wild
guys, I think we
card.
should probably get started. Oh, wait,
Oh,
I
you didn't-
totally forgot.
What
Wait,
about Steven?
No.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, fuck
Yeah,
that. Fuck him, look.
what you
Let's
want.
skip.
Okay, let's go.
Let's get started.
Yeah.
Don't need to introduce me. It's okay.
It's your favorite
Hey, do you guys hear
podcast
another
host,
voice somewhere?
Mr.
I
League
mean,
of
I-
Legends with Steve-O himself, the bad boey, Steve Landis.
I already did it. No, it's okay. I already-
He's not even good. Okay, fine. All right, fine. Shit.
It's like I'm done with it, dude.
Good. I don't even care.
All right,
All right.
I didn't even
move on.
It's too late. Can't do it.
Just joining us for the very first time, allow me to break this down very simply and very quickly. We are Maelstrom Gamers, and we hop on a Skype every week with 5 topics for our discussion, but more importantly, for your entertainment. Each topic is doled out onto YouTube Monday through Friday, topic by topic, on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Maelstrom Gamers channel, and then the full episode is on Saturday. If you guys would like to get that early and exclusively, you can hop on to patreon.com/Maelstrom Gamers. Throw us a couple bucks like David Fry did the other week,
Yeah, David
and
Fry.
you'll get a bunch of rewards just like that. If you don't have money, you can support us for free as well on our Facebook page, at Maelstrom Gamers at Twitter, at Maelstrom Gamers on Instagram, and you can also go to our YouTube channel and comment, like, subscribe. A lot of people are doing that, so I'm going to keep saying this. This is working. Like, I'm getting more and more like comments. I'm getting more and more likes and follows. So I really appreciate the people that are doing that, and keep it up, guys. Rocco, you look like you're going to say something.
Do a good job.
Oh, I am saying things. You just can't hear it. They can hear it, but they can't really hear it.
I know.
You know, subconscious.
Yeah, okay.
That's pretty interesting.
So that's it. We're going to go kind of quickly because I know people have to leave a little early.
Subscribe.
So we're gonna start. First topic is Civil War reactions.
Okay.
I and Steve-O over here were able
Okay.
to see this movie. Ian was not, and
I wasn't
Rocco
either.
won't see this movie until maybe it's on like discount at
Red
the
box.
red box
Mm.
thing.
Yeah.
VHS.
That just becomes my life nowadays.
Yeah.
Kids.
No, I hear you. I know. Slowly like sinking into that quagmire as well.
Yeah,
knows?
exactly.
Let me tell you about my experience seeing Civil War.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So,
Go
my
ahead.
wife and I had plans for about a week to go on a date night. So she's like, okay, she looked up the movie time, she picked the restaurant, we went, she goes, yeah, it starts at 8, it starts at 8. I was like, okay. So, we sit there, we have dinner, we're wasting time because I was like, man, we have another 30 minutes. So we just sat there, had a beer, and then we go to the movie theaters, and then we walk up and we're like, hey, and it's one of those nice ones, like Steve-O, you know,
Yeah.
it has the recliners and they serve you stuff.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was-
Now, did you bring your gorilla?
So in my mind,
Tell you what,
Yeah.
it would have been fine. Had he done that.
I would not have sat in the front row.
By the way, I
So,
I talked to some people about that conversation we had. They enjoyed it very much.
So did
Yeah.
I. So did I.
I watched it several times, the episode, but. Alright,
So we get there. Yeah. So the movie started at 7:30, and I'm like, oh, and normally what the
Preview
trailers
starts.
and everything are like 20 minutes or so.
Yeah.
So I sat there, and like at that point, it was like 8:05, 8:10. So I was like, okay, yeah, like I already missed like the beginning, and I don't want to just jump in there. So my wife was like, I swear I looked up the movie times. I was like, no, you didn't. So she pulls it up, and it had the day after, the next
Oh,
day's
no.
movie times. I was like, you didn't notice the date?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That
So
sucks, man.
Big
So,
fail.
and I told her that we had plans on making this our topic. So she's like, "Well, we can go to another movie theater." I'm like, "I'm not driving even further to go see the movie now." I said,
Because
"No."
he doesn't care enough, people out there. You guys watching, he doesn't care enough. Look at you.
Yeah.
Would have. You were dedicated, Ian.
He would have been
She
there.
was
He would have
dedicated.
checked
She was-
himself
She
and
was
then
more
gone.
dedicated. She was like, listen. We will find another theater, Ian. We will make this happen for you. I'm not gonna be the one to ruin this. And you're like, no, fuck that. You fucked it up now.
You ruined it.
You ruined it. There's no fixing this.
So,
You owe me something later on.
so then with that said, Steve,
That's exactly what he was looking for.
what did you think about the movie, Steve?
I actually liked it. I liked that it had more of a storyline to it. It kind of had like a DC
Hold on. Before he goes into this, I haven't seen it, but I have seen some stuff on Civil War. Can I speak about that first before he goes in depth?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, because
Okay.
you guys haven't seen it, let's treat this like an AMA and ask me anything,
Okay.
and like you two
So,
guys just ask questions.
I was watching Chelsea, her TV show on Netflix, and one of her interviews was with the Black Panther, I guess it was.
Yeah.
This is supposed to be like the first, like the Black Panther, the comic book as he was, I guess, was like the first black comic book character.
Yep.
If I'm correct. Okay.
First major.
Yeah, so she was doing an interview with him, and it seemed pretty cool because it was showing little different segments of the video. But I was really unfamiliar with who he is as like a superhero. But that's really like, it was showing me that in Civil War it has like a lot. They're obviously going to be introducing other comic book characters that I might not even be aware of.
Mhm.
Yeah,
That
dude.
it was kind of piquing some interest. But if you could explain real quick, who is that character? Do you know or?
Yeah.
Take it away, Clay.
Okay.
Yeah, so the Black Panther is T'Challa, I believe is correct.
Mhm.
It's T'Challa and T'Challa? I don't know. He has a dad that was also,
T'Challa?
was also a Black Panther. Basically, the idea was that like he was created around like the 1960s during the Civil Rights Movement. They wanted to really have an African American represent, and be like elite. Like there was a bunch of African American superheroes, but they were like the Black Bolt and like obscure sea level guys, right? Then comes along Stan Lee and Steve Ditko, and they create Black Panther, and they just want to make him like a boss, right? Like let's make him his own guy. He's not a sidekick. He's not some like just like side idea. And then they also wanted to root him, which is interesting, but they wanted to root him in traditional African culture. So they made up this city called Wakanda. And there's an interesting juxtaposition here. They're the most advanced technology-wise, but they still have a ton of like old tribalistic cultural stuff going on. Like
Okay.
even though
Yeah.
they have like
Yeah.
vibranium, which is
Yeah.
I'll get to that in a minute, but a major export, and they have like all this like crazy tech and computers and stuff. They still like wear headdresses and like dance and like
Yeah.
while they're super advanced,
They keep their culture,
yeah.
but they keep advancing the technology though.
Yeah. We just lost Steve-O for a second.
It's all right.
Steve has
I'm
gone.
still here.
We don't need the bad boy.
Yeah.
He's gone.
And
We
so,
didn't introduce him, so it's okay.
and what was interesting is they actually like, oh man, I think what was interesting is that shortly after the Black
Peter's
Panther movement
awesome.
actually became pretty heavy, and then to avoid any like because Black Lives Matter, although it has a section of it that is very noble and not driven by violence. It's actually got a lot of people who are taking that movement, calling it their own, and doing very violent things with it. So it's very muddy, and that's kind of what the Black Panther movement was back in the '60s. And so for a little while there, because Marvel wanted to get away from anything politically dangerous, they actually changed Black Panther's name to like Black Jaguar or something like that, or just Panther.
Oh,
or something
really?
like that.
Black.
Yeah, it's, So
Glad
that
they
was just
did
an
in the first
interesting
place.
tidbit, but like he's a boss. Basically, vibranium is their main export. His whole suit. Well, so the other thing is that like every Black Panther, it's very mystical. But each like king of Wakanda takes Black Panther as a mantle, and when they do that, they do it when their father dies. So when they become king, they inherit this Black Panther. mysticism, and with it they inherent every past Black Panther's like knowledge and strength. So
Oh,
they just
cool.
keep getting stronger, and so that's why he can like jump down and run as fast as cars and be very very agile and stuff. And so because he's also got like
Is
mystic.
it like Superman's like cell like mutation or not mutation but
more like Captain
evolution, but it could be absorbed like instantaneously once that person's passed kind of deal. Like
Kind of,
their
yeah. And you,
cells just like learn more and more knowledge and more knowledge, learn be quicker.
I mean,
faster.
they're smart individuals as it is. Like
Yeah,
T'Challa's
their
just a smart dude
technology's like the
anyway, right?
furthest. Yeah.
But yeah, they certainly get in that, and then they get like the Panther totems and stuff like that that like help them. So there's a lot of mysticism going on there. On top of that, they have vibranium, right, which is where this is found. It's what Captain America's shield is made out of, and then they use the actual materials to woven the Black Panther suit. It's woven with vibranium.
Was that what's his name was looking for then? The metal guy, the robot.
Ultron.
Yeah.
Vol-
He
yeah,
might have been. I don't know why
Ultron
he
was Ultron looking for that metal? Wasn't that what it was on the ship in that last movie
Yeah.
that they were fighting him?
It was, yeah.
Okay,
That's
yeah.
what he
I think
made. That's what he made his suit out of.
Yeah, and that's why it's like the most powerful metal. Like I think it actually rivals adamantium. I'm pretty sure it
Okay.
can. But
It does.
so the Black Panther suit is all woven with that stuff. So like in the trailer and in the movie, you see Black Panther chase the Winter Soldier, and this helicopter shoots it with its Gatling gun, and he just stands there and eats it because vibranium could just like stop it instantly, right?
So they
Jesus.
portrayed his character really well then.
Dude, yeah.
From what I'm hearing.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
played really
Okay.
good.
'Cause,
And
I mean, in the clips that I was seeing, it looked like he looked like it was an awesomely shot film and stuff like that. I just had not known the backdrop to this character yet.
The two things that stand out to me in this film is that Black Panther is a bona fide and filled with unadulterated badassness, and Spider-Man is the most entertaining thing ever. Like those two guys.
Also-
Which he should be. Honestly, Spider-Man
Yeah.
should be that way. That's the way that everyone
Yeah.
wants to see Spider-Man.
Yeah,
So this is a good Spider-Man.
Dude,
it's a good
the
Spider-Man.
best Spider-Man.
Okay.
Yeah,
How was the
I
graphics
hated
on
it, Clay, so bad when Tobey Maguire made like a cameo in it. I hated it so bad.
Yeah, that was really bad.
Oh, in this movie,
yeah,
he did.
he comes
Oh,
in.
no
He actually
way.
plays Spider-Man
Kinda like-
for about
yeah,
50
kinda like-
minutes.
Did he come down for a
plays
kiss?
Spider-Man?
No, just kidding.
Oh, I was like,
Lie
shit.
down for like a
No.
upside down kiss.
no, yeah, no. No.
His only scene.
Spider-Man is
With
like
Black Panther.
So here's the thing. So Spider-Man's action sequence are nailed, and dude,
Yeah.
like here's the thing about Marvel versus what I see for DC. And my biggest gripe is that Marvel does such a great job of efficiently weaving in not only what makes sense for the character by knowing their character, but through their actions, their dialogue of what makes sense for the character, but also like nods to old school comic stuff. So like there's this. So like okay, so not only is Spider-Man acted by Tom Holland, the best Peter Parker. Like, I mean, he not only is he a nerd and he's awkward, but he has a Queen's accent. This is the first time an actor actually has a Queen's accent. It's so freaking awesome to hear that. He's also written really well, and then the action scenes portray Spider-Man really, really well. And then he's agile and stuff. He's also like Andrew Garfield, when he would quip like an asshole. When Tom Holland quips, when he's written by Marvel, he quips like a nerd. Like he's
Yeah,
he's
it was
fighting
really
Winter
nerdy.
Soldier.
It was
Winter
great.
Soldier goes to throw a punch and he blocks it. Like instead, Andrew Garfield would have been like, "Oh, not so strong anymore," right? And it's like, okay, that's a dick move. But Tom Holland, Marvel's Spider-Man, he grabs it, and as he's stopping it, he doesn't want to fight. Instead, he's like, "Whoa, cool! You have like a freaking robotic arm. That's so neat, dude. You must be." And then he gets punched in the face. Like he gets distracted by such nerdiness.
Oh my god, I was laughing so hard
Yeah.
too because like he at one point Captain America throws his shield right at him and he like deflects. He's like, "Do you know your shield just defies the laws of physics?"
Yeah,
he's like,
yeah.
it's like he says something like that, just like, and he's fighting while he's doing all this and everything. He's like, and he's talking to him and he's like, "You guys," he's like, you're not supposed to talk in a fight this much." He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." He's like going flying around. It's, like, it's so great, like the way.
Oh,
they
I'm
do-
sorry.
Dude, it's the most entertaining piece
Yeah.
of the movie.
Gotcha.
And then the other thing, the last point I was driving at is that so all of these quips and all of this stuff is really, really great, and it just bleeds Spider-Man. But something that they do also is take the time to carefully craft a scenario that's set up by other scenarios. So this is like very, very like filled with forethought. But like there's a scene where Captain America hits some pillars or something, and this like the structure falls down on Spider-Man, and Spider-Man has to. He's a 16-year-old boy. He has to lift and like stop it from coming down, and that's such an iconic scene. Like there's a scene where Spider-Man's doing that back in like the 1960s like comic book, and it's like, holy crap, you took the time to figure out how to put something like that in. Like, so not only is that like just compounded on everything that makes Spider-Man great, but like for those like crazy comic book nerd heads, they're like, oh, thank you, like that was so great, thank you, I appreciate you doing that. Instead, you have Batman killing people in DC, and you're like, dude, I get it, it's different, but it's not what I want to see. And like, I don't know, Marvel gets it. Marvel really, really gets it. So it's freaking awesome. It's
Hats off to them. Are you saying hats off to them?
yeah. So now is it
Now we all
so
gotta go.
Steve, and I'm sure this is a question for you guys, is this the best Marvel movie in your opinion?
I think so, honestly, because like it's like I said, it's different than the other Marvel movies because it's got more of a story to it. It's not like, hey, this is the bad guy, we're gonna go kill him, blah blah. You know what I mean?
Destroy cities.
It's like makes you think. You're like, what's this guy getting at? What's he doing? And it's kind of like got a DC aspect to it. There's not really that many funny moments in it. There is some funny moments in it, but it's not like a regular Marvel movie.
It's filled with a lot of charm, though. It's still nowhere near as dark as
Yes,
Batman
a lot of
vs.
charm,
Superman.
but it's not as dark. Yeah, but it's. I just love that it has more of a storyline to it, and it just they depict it great.
Yeah.
Is it your favorite superhero movie of all time?
Trying to think. I'd have to say to this date, yeah, probably, because it just I love the storyline, and I loved just seeing the characters develop in their own way, and getting to see just certain aspects. Like the kind of thing that kind of threw me off though was when Iron Man went to go get, you know what I mean, Spider-Man and everything.
Yep.
That was like that kind of I
So-
don't know, it was kind of weird for me.
So for me, I'm not sure if this is the best Marvel movie. I'll be flat out and say that. I think Avengers might still hold the Guardians of the Galaxy is still up there and Winter Soldier is still up there. Like this comes
Like
close,
Guardians.
but what's interesting is that because Black Panther and Spider-Man are so amazingly entertaining, it kind of highlights a flaw in the movie in that I'm getting a little bit bored with the characters that I've been watching for the last decade. So like I'm kind of like it means I need new characters. So someone like Doctor Strange via Cumberbatch and this new Spider-Man and this Black Panther really bring what this franchise needs. So I'm getting a little bit bored. There's a little bit fatigue there, and I'm like the biggest Marvel fan. It's not my favorite superhero movie. I think Dark Knight still holds that. I think Dark Knight is just one of the most beautifully woven, crafted. Of
course it's gotta be
superhero
Batman.
stories. Like Spider-Man is like my favorite of all time, right? And like I'm so happy to see this, but like I'm still Civil War is not without its flaws. It's still one of the most entertaining movies, and they did such a great job, and it's up there, man. It really is. But like, there's a couple things that like I have questions about. In that, Iron Man gets like he gets destroyed for getting a little boy, like a very young adult killed, and then he goes out and recruits a young adult. That doesn't make any
Exactly.
sense to me. And then there was an issue where this is really hard to do. And then there was just like another issue where the I don't know, the villain, although was like it's Marvel just they're having trouble in their movies crafting a very strong villain.
Yeah.
So I think they still need work there. I think he's very interesting. This villain, unlike Lex Luthor, was like his motivations made sense. There was a lot of like there was still some really like I don't know, they could have made what he did stronger and a little bit more believable, but like there were some good twists at the end too. Like I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
very
they're
good
gonna do
twists.
this. Oh shit, no, they're not. Like that's kind of cool. And like for a villain to like do the things he did without actually ever fighting a single, I was like, that's kind of cool. Like I like that concept. Just in execution, I think it could have been a little bit stronger.
Who is the villain?
This guy named Zemo, who's Baron
Zemo.
Zemo in the comics. He basically constructs pulling strings behind the scenes.
He's a mastermind.
Yeah,
Pretty
and
much.
it's really
Kind of
interesting.
villain.
It's very interesting. Like I thought they did a pretty good job, but yeah, there's definitely some flaws. But oh my god, dude, that airport scene is like one of the most fun battles
It was
ever.
pretty cool.
And dude, Paul Rudd, he's the other like if it
Yeah.
goes for me, it goes Spider-Man, Black Panther, then Paul Rudd, dude, fucking hilarious
Yeah.
as Ant-Man.
As
in that
Ant-Man.
movie. Dude. So good.
I liked his piece by himself.
Yeah.
Like I actually thought it was all right. Like where
The
I think
movie?
others said like they were kind of against his Ant-Man video.
Yeah.
I liked that film. I thought it was like, oh, I think it's good. I think he
I-
plays a good character. He plays that
They
like.
got good reviews. They got great
Yeah.
reviews.
They could have
I
done
mean,
a
he
better
was
heist.
over the top with his humor and stuff like that,
Yeah.
you know, which would be playing out of this character for Ant-Man. But he was just like he was still really good.
They
He was
need.
Paul
I
Rudd.
like that.
I want an Ocean's 11 with Ant-Man, like
All
a
right.
true heist movie, and I think I would be so happy with him and Wasp, and then some other maybe like his friends, and then maybe some.
So cool.
Give me some like other superheroes that are like I don't know, like Plastic Man, dude. Plastic Man, dude. Recruit
Plastic
Plastic
Man.
Man. Oh no, Plastic Man's DC. Fuck. I don't know. Recruit somebody
There's
like.
really a guy named Plastic Man?
Yeah, he's like Mr. Fantastic.
Oh, Jesus.
Anyway,
He's super fantastic.
we got to wrap up because we're going pretty long on this one. When you guys see it, I'd like to like revisit this because I have a lot of opinions and I actually want to talk. But
Plus, I want to watch it.
Yeah, I need to see it, so.
so you guys will not be disappointed. It's pretty cool. Let's move on to our next topic. Steve, let's go to you.
Yo.
Oh.
Oh yeah, Assassin's Creed trailer. What'd you guys
Okay.
think of it? You guys saw it, right?
Yes.
Yeah, actually, it looks really cool. I'm kind of
Now
excited.
I was gonna ask you guys too. You guys think that Mike? Sweet.
There you go.
Awesome. Okay. You guys think that while I'm resetting my camera, do you guys think that Michael Fassbender is the perfect character for this part?
Michael Fassbender, I could watch him in anything.
That's
He
true.
seemed pretty good, like in the trailer. I think he's going to portray him as a good character. You know, like do it pretty well. But what was really like, I mean, the graphics and everything, and I can't wait to see like how like when you play the game, jumping from building to building and running on the tight ropes and stuff like that. I think that's going to be pretty cool.
One thing I wanted to see how this is done because like in the game they like sit down in like a bed and they go passed out and they go like it's like all in their mind. They're like watching in their mind kind of deal.
Right.
And-
Like
Animus.
this looked like it was going to be done with like a machine strapped around his waist and he was going to be like simulating the movements and the jumps and all
wow.
these different things.
Right.
And it was going to be
That's a good
still in
catch.
his mind, but they're going to watch him like doing these actions because I mean, at one point he was like coming down from like a jump. It was like in his mind, you see the jump going on like Assassin's Creed picture, and then you see in reality for a quick second in the trailer, he's got a machine strapped to his waist and he's coming down from like a 5-foot jump and like landing on his knee like the superhero.
Well, in
Like,
the game,
yeah, that's right.
in the game itself, he
So I was kind of thinking
the-
maybe it's gonna be weird, a little
the
different.
character got his abilities
Yeah, like
as
he
he
learned
was
over
going
time.
on. Damon, actually, that's his name, Damon, right?
Yeah,
think that-
I don't think in the movie though
there's-
his name's not Damon.
there's
though, right?
two.
Matt Damon.
There's gonna be two stories like in
Acting.
parallel, right? Like there's this
Yes.
or two
Yeah.
conflicts, right? There's the conflict that goes on in the past that they're trying to learn from,
Yeah.
and then
Right.
there's the current conflict, which I think they're trying to train him for to be able
Yeah.
to fight against whatever.
Something or someone.
The
Well,
group, the organization, the Templars, the modern day
Yeah.
Templars.
yeah.
Well, the other thing is that they started out saying that he was killed. You know, he was executed in the games. He did it willingly. He was like
Yeah.
a part of them.
Well, they kind of tricked him, to,
Right.
Like they had him working for him first, and then all of a sudden like he was actually on both sides. Like,
Right.
well, that's towards the end of the game, but
But this one, it's like, oh, he's like was in prison and executed, and then they're like, oh, he's technically dead, and
Yeah.
so like I want to see how that's gonna kind of play into it.
It sounds
Oh,
like
I-
I like some of these fighting scenes though, where they're
Yeah, it was
doing
pretty
these,
cool.
oh yeah,
so
these,
about
like,
that, Rocco.
out motions like, and then the
So-
spikes are coming out of their hands.
I was watching that GIF for quite a
Mhm.
bit, and the action scenes. Sorry, the action scenes were actually very. There was something
Like-
weird about them, and I couldn't pinpoint it. And then I had just like this GIF in my other monitor that was playing over and over again. And it was the woman who was cutting people and then stabbing them and then smiling. They're doing some weird stuff. I don't know why, but they're splitting like major amounts of frames between fights. So if you slow that down, she actually goes from,
Jumps.
it jumps. So she goes from like slicing looking this way to immediately looking this way. And then immediately like that. Like
Oh.
it's not
Well,
fluid
if I
at
was
all.
watching that in the GIF, did you see it? Like, did you watch it through like normally again too? And did it look like jumpy?
Yes,
Even
that's
watching
why it
normally?
looked weird to me. Like the whole that
Okay.
whole thing, and I was like, it just looked unnatural. And I don't. Maybe they're trying
Yeah.
to go for a slight unnaturalness because it's supposed to be taking place
Like,
in
in a simulation kind of
Yes.
situation.
Yeah.
and on
you
top
know,
of
and
that,
not-
these guys are supposed to be like extremely quick. But for whatever reason, it's purposely done. They've cut a major chunk of frames in between like major like action like punches and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's different. I don't know.
Maybe it's just going for that really quick. I mean, I don't know. Maybe like when we get into the film, it's like watching. It's like going through beta right now, not knowing like what the actual film's gonna have
Yeah.
because we just watched the trailer.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
that might be the theme that you see out throughout the whole film. Like when he's in the simulation mode, that's like kind of a little choppy here and there to just give to recall the viewer that don't forget he's in a simulation or in his
Right.
mind some type of technology is being.
Yeah, because in the game itself, remember like some points of the game, it kind of like it was kind
Yeah.
of like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
kind of
maybe,
like
yeah.
shaky. Yeah.
It would do a little staticky
That'd
kind
be
of.
pretty cool.
But that combat was always I don't know. It really is jarring because like even it makes her thing, her like attack. I don't know. It's such a weird.
rigid?
I'm rigid. I'm trying to describe
yeah.
it. It's like
Or
Like,
maybe
it's
or
like-
maybe the people that did the trailer were just like at a time
Lazy.
crunch or something, just lazy.
Lazy.
You know what I mean? It's
No.
kind of
Like,
like
we gotta
kind of
cut
like the
it.
World of
Fuck it,
Warcraft
Eric.
trailer.
Put that-
no,
Or just kind
no.
of like the Warcraft trailer.
We're
It's
15
it's
frames off
super.
the
It's
time.
just super unnatural. It's almost teetering on the uncanny valley thing. Because it immediately then zooms in and it's full 60 frames of her smiling and you're like, oh, that's what I'm. It's just weird. It's just weird. I don't know.
Gotcha.
All I know is they have to really nail this movie. I mean, they can make a lot of money off this series, and if they
Oh, yeah.
nail this movie, it'll be huge. It'll be huge.
It has a lot of
It'll be
potential.
huge.
I'm
Have you guys
excited. Like
seen,
this
like,
could
the-
potentially be the first video game movie.
That's what I
Oh
was,
my
I was
god,
gonna
that's
say.
so
Like,
great.
like on
Right.
a large scale. Like this is gonna open that door of filmmakers starting to create game movies like big
The
time.
Last of Us too. They already have that coming like in the making and everything too. So I just
Well, obviously we were talking about the World of Warcraft stuff, but that was like
Or the
still
Warcraft,
included.
yeah.
But they're gonna be doing ones like this. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna be
Imagine
Yeah.
like a
Still
Fallout movie or something. That'd be pretty cool.
a Fallout movie
Dude,
would be cool.
with the director
Yeah.
from Mad Max.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That would be a great style.
over that.
I'm excited about that actually though.
Yeah, there's
converting
a lot.
converting games into movies because there's a lot of great games with some good stories that would be easy to make, and there's an audience already for that too.
Metal
So
Gear
if-
Solid movies.
I was just about to say
Oh.
that.
They've been trying to make that
Mega
for a
Man.
long time.
Mega Man movie.
Dude, they are. They're making. I
They're
think
making
they
a Mega
are.
Man movie.
I think so, or a new Mega Man. Dude, I swear. I'll look this up. 1 second. Anything else about
Yeah,
the?
have you ever
Assassin's
seen that meme where it has Fry from Futurama and he just has the fist of money and just says "Take my money"? That's Clay right there.
Seriously.
Take my
Well,
money.
Yeah, no.
it's like
20th Century Fox is developing a Mega Man movie.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
This is real,
who would be playing?
It's not like a Pixar, right? It's
who would be your ideal Mega Man?
dude. I don't.
Michael Fassbender.
Some unknown, like take the Star Wars approach. Just get a bunch of unknowns
Matt Damon.
Has to be a
and then
known.
put them.
I like that. I like that too.
I don't know. Tom Cruise, no.
Yeah.
Too old.
He's outdated.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's expired.
What do you
His
think? Do you-
expiration date already came out.
from the trailer and what I've taken in that they're taking liberties. Like I don't think this is actually gonna have any real connection to the games. This feels like a completely different story. Like I don't think they're
I
gonna
kind of
get.
feel the same.
No, it's the
I kinda-
Spanish Inquisition. That's
Yeah,
the,
it's
that's
the
the first
Spanish
one.
No, it's not the first one. It's like the second or third.
I
Oh, it was the second. No,
Yeah.
it was the second because the first
First
one they
one-
did was the Knights Templar. It was like in medieval times type thing, right?
right.
Yeah, and I mean, that
God, I wish
first
I could
one-
have my friend on here. He knows
Yeah.
everything about. He even has Assassin's Creed symbol on his shoulder.
I have an
Oh, that's
Assassin's
cool.
Creed jacket. That's how much I know it.
No, you don't. I would have seen this and I would have worn this before.
and he has the sheets, the Assassin's.
Yes.
I would have worn. I've been
Assassin's Creed.
wearing it. I saw this guy going to the post
You wear-
office.
You
I was
wear
like,
the
that's actually
hood.
pretty legit. Even though
Who's-
you,
Altier is the first guy, and the second guy is Enzio.
Japan.
Ezio.
Yeah, Ezio. That's
Ezio.
the Spanish
But
But
Inquisition.
that's
That's it.
not that's not who Fassbender's playing. He's playing a completely
No.
different character.
he's playing Broseph.
Bro.
He's playing Brosaurus Rex.
Brosaurus Rex. I know it. It's true.
Oh.
Science.
All right. Well, I hope they do it the right way, man. Because like they can make a lot of money off this. I hope they're just not just throwing it to the wind. It's kind of like Deadpool. You know what I mean? Like they made a ton of money because they did it the right way.
Right.
If they made that movie PG-13.
Oh, one
that
thing I
movie
heard
was
too about the
so-
Civil War movie that we were a little bit off of that one, but it made $700 million. It was like
Yeah.
huge amount of money.
Internationally, it's insane. It's got a long.
And how much did Batman v Superman make?
They're around like 750 worldwide, but
Yeah.
they've also been out a lot longer. So
Yeah.
Civil War has a chance to get really close
Yeah.
to Avengers, 1.5 billion internationally.
Oh wow! Look at that number. Are you
Yeah.
kidding me? Movies, the 1.5 billion.
Yeah. So Avengers 1 made 1.5 billion.
Dang.
Avengers 2
That's
made
so
1.2
crazy.
billion.
That is
Captain
so
America
crazy.
Or Iron Man 3 made like 1 billion or something like that.
Think about these people at the top.
Oh. Making a lot of
They're
money.
like, oh, I like this.
Yeah.
Let's make another. That's why they're like, let's make another Avengers.
Yeah.
I don't
I
know.
like
the
this
peop-
$1 billion
the
amount.
people at top are like letting Kevin Feige do his thing. Like,
Yeah.
you need a vision holder to construct.
Well, of
this.
course.
It's insane. We're
course.
witnessing history. Like, this is for movie buffs who go back to how trilogies were created and all that stuff, and watching Star Wars, like living through that time. We're living through this phase concept of movie universes having multiple trilogies. It's freaking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It's really cool.
Segway.
Yes. Segue.
Segue.
All right, let's go on to our next topic. Wild card. Why don't you just
Wild
give us
card.
your topic.
So my topic is going to be on what we were just kind of discussing was sequels. What sequels do you think that have come out in the past that were better than the original?
Don't even say Clay.
Go ahead and
Dark
say
Knight. I'm gonna say it. Dark Knight. That's fine.
You know what's not
Nice.
one?
I heard him saying it earlier. He's like, Dark Knight's my it's
It's still
so
I still
good.
think it's the best
my
superhero
favorite.
movie. You know
Yeah,
what's
that's
not? You know what's not a good sequel?
What?
Spider-Man 2. I'm
Oh
gonna
my
get
God,
destroyed
god,
for
and
that.
3.
I
And the
do not like
remake.
Spider-
It just got worse and worse. And worse.
Everybody thinks Spider-Man 2 is the best one of the Raimi ones, but I still think 1 is better, personally. I think the second half of Spider-Man 2 ruins the whole movie because Doc Ock becomes this mindless, like, idiotic, stupid villain. He could have been so much better. Anyway,
Dark Knight.
Jaws
man.
2. Jaws 2 is fun.
Oh hell yeah!
Jaws 2 is
Jaws
alright.
2 is way better than Jaws 1.
Let
What
me
about
see
Toy
what-
Story 2?
Nope.
For sure. How?
I don't know.
No way.
I mean, I liked it too with some certain things, like, you know, but it didn't bring the impact of Toy Story 1.
Terminator 2.
For sure.
Yes.
Yes,
Absolutely.
absolutely, yeah.
Terminator
Loved it.
2.
Titanic
There-
2.
I'm looking at this thing that says Superman 2 in the 1980s. Dude, Titanic 2, what are you talking about?
They rebuilt it. They made it stronger, or did they?
Or did they?
Grease 2.
Grease
Grease
2.
2. No, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Grease is the original. is
Gotta have
better.
Travolta.
This one's saying Empire Strikes Back, which
Yeah, I would agree with that one.
Oh, 1, 2,
I would say, yeah.
and 3. Episode 1, 2, and 3 of
That
Star
was-
Wars were the best ever.
Yeah, everybody's liking the same thing what I'm seeing here.
Clay's like,
Lethal
you're such a troll.
Weapon.
Yeah.
troll.
But for real,
Lethal
The
Weapon
Dark-
2. I never
Oh,
really got
Lethal-
into Lethal Weapons.
Wait, it went up to 4, didn't it?
It
Lethal
went up
Weapon?
to like 5.
Yeah,
Oh, it did?
like, yeah,
5.
I'm getting too old for this
He's
shit.
like, I'm getting really old for this.
Yeah.
I'm
Um,
really too old for this shit. Now, hey, what about sequels? Sequels can also mean
Lord of
not
the-
just
Lord of the
one,
Rings
can also
Two
mean
Towers?
like
Yeah.
like
Yeah, I would agree
numbers
with you on that
far
one.
out from behind.
What's
right?
that, Rocco?
Yeah.
Okay,
Whatever.
so like here's another one then for me is Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift. Yep, that was mine.
No.
Yeah.
How about
But
this?
not any of the other Fast and the Furious, but the Tokyo Drift version. And I don't know what it was. I think it was just the idea. It's because I like love the Japanese culture so much and want to go there so bad myself.
Yeah. I
But-
want to visit.
I think, and that's probably what had a big play in it. But I liked that one.
It was really corny.
What about
I
remakes?
I liked the corniness. I don't know what it was.
Han is a badass, so I'll give you that.
Yeah.
You can put in remakes on that,
I
but
was supposed to say, yeah, like remakes. Like they remember the original like Hulk, how bad that movie
Oh,
was.
and then the Incredible Hulk
Oh,
comes
yeah.
out.
Oh yeah.
well,
Yeah,
have you
I would agree with
Are
you
you
on
talking
that.
about like the 1970s or 80s Hulk?
No.
No, I'm
the
talking about the-
Ange Lee Hulk, the one with
Oh, yeah.
like the Hulk dog, and then they had like the Thunder Hulk or whatever like that. Where he's fighting his dad and shit like that. You remember that one, the original one?
yeah.
I don't remember
Bruce
that one.
is
What the fuck are you talking about?
David Banner plays.
Yeah.
And then
David
who,
Banner.
Banner. I
I
was
know, that's
just-
exactly what I thought too.
who's the
like-
chick that plays in it? It's not Aerosmith's daughter, dude.
No, it's.
She only plays in what do you
Tyler?
call it? I think she only
Hold
plays.
on,
in
I'll
one
find her real quick.
I just watched it the other day. Armageddon.
Yeah. Liv Tyler is in
Liv
the
Tyler.
sequel of what we're talking about. But
No, I'm not. Yeah, in the sequel, the one we're
yeah,
talking about, but the original I'm talking
with
about.
Edward Norton. That one was the good one. The one before
It was Eric Bana.
Eric Bana.
Eric Bana. That one was horrible.
Yeah.
It lasted way too long,
Yeah.
and I like the one with Edward Norton better.
Yeah, Edward
because
Norton
it was
was
a better
great.
remake.
Yeah, the one with Edward Norton.
Oh, let's see.
He's a great actor.
Sequels.
fucking Winter
Ooh,
Soldier.
I like the Kung Fu Panda movies. Kung Fu Panda 2 and 3. I like those.
Better than one?
Yeah. I think they've been getting better. I like this. They're doing
guys.
well with the story.
Cars 2.
Never seen it.
It's terrible. I'm joking.
I've seen the first one.
Yeah.
No.
Planes
I'm not
was
gonna go with
I
that.
heard was horrible.
Planes was
RoboCop
terrible.
2, was that better than RoboCop 1?
The
Man, I haven't
new
seen those
version,
in
the
forever.
remake version of
No, no,
RoboCop,
no,
I
no, no.
liked. Like,
Yeah,
I
the new
like
version
that
was pretty cool.
The remade version. So if we're talking about remakes too,
It's like a DC
Dude,
darkness.
you know what?
too.
Actually,
Yeah.
Austin Powers 2 I liked a lot better
was-
than 1.
For sure.
Gold
yeah.
member.
No, that's the third one.
Goldfinger.
I know that's what I said.
it was he. Bad Bastard was in 2, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And
Wasn't he?
Mini-Me?
Yeah. Oh, then absolutely Austin Powers 2, man.
Yeah.
For sure.
Austin Powers 2 just like had a bunch of kind of same jokes, but I thought they were a lot better. Whereas 3 just
Get
was like
in
basically
my
the same
belly.
jokes as 2.
Alright.
Yeah.
Can I switch to a little something real quick? All right, what movie would you remake? Have them remake or redo, just to be a better movie?
To be a better movie.
You could say Spider-Man, Clay.
Civil War.
I mean, so redo Batman v Superman would be great. If they
Yeah.
could redo that and do it right.
I want them to redo Aragon.
Oh my damn it! That was what I was. I just looked down on my knee. I thought about Aragon. I was about to say it, and you said it first.
Yeah, I want them to
Angry
redo
there.
that movie. I think they could take that story and really.
Dude,
do
they
some good with
really
it.
could-
that or Avatar.
Okay, yeah.
Last
Avatar would
Airbender.
be a good one too to
I think
remake.
I don't know.
What? Why would you
I
remake?
love that whole series. I love
'Cause you
that
can
whole
make-
series.
dude,
like
Avatar was a good show.
Yeah.
It was
First of all, it's
okay.
not a show; it's a movie.
No, the show.
Oh, not
Like, they-
Avatar. No, you're
they're-
talking about Avatar: Last Airbender, not Avatar.
Yeah, you gotta say that though, because everybody thinks
Sorry.
Yeah,
Avatar.
that's two different movies.
Avatar: Last Airbender.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
There's a show. That show has got
Yes.
a really good story to it. They
Oh.
could have done that a lot better.
Dragon Ball would be a great one for them to redo.
Oh my
Like a really good
Yeah.
Dragon Ball. Seriously,
that'd be
Like,
great.
Put some time into it. Put some effort. Put some money behind it. There's a huge audience.
I
Whoever's
know.
out there listening, please. There's like all the millennials have raised off of
I
Dragon
know,
Ball.
I
Z.
know.
Like our morals and our values come from this show. Goku,
Speak-
Goku was our role models.
Whoa, we need to take a step back here. Speaking of Dragon Ball Z, Steven, weren't you supposed to go,
Even it was
Super-
Piccolo. Super Saiyan.
There you go.
That would be if that was the way that Super Saiyan like mode converted. Honestly, that would be super intense. That would be so intense.
wait, go back.
What just happened?
You gotta post that, dude. You have to post it.
All right, I'll
That
do
was
it.
insane.
I'll do it one more time.
Yeah, can you please? And then post that to Facebook, and then also tell me.
How did you do that?
Can I have that
Okay.
app, please?
I'm gonna do it all day. I'm have hair.
Can I have that app?
Yes, you can. You can have
Can
that
you
app.
send it to Alan?
Yeah,
Yes.
Alan has to do it. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I'll
then,
send it to-
oh my god, that is
Yeah,
so
dude, that's
cool.
pretty intense. If that was the way it really was, that'd be a little intimidating. I'm not gonna lie.
Dude.
Not to mention, I would already be intimidating, but now it's like an explosion happens at the same time.
Dude, that is so cool. Oh my god, that was so cool. I was not
all the
expecting that.
events that just happened there just to lead to that moment was great.
So
It was
wow.
huge.
So Dragon Ball, yeah, that would be great.
Remake that movie.
Yeah.
For some
We'd
reason,
make-
I knew
we'd make
Ian was going to say
1.7
something.
billion.
Knew Ian was going to say something. So I was like, all right, let me get this ready.
Dude. Okay, I can't. That's
Yeah, that
really
was
fun. I
really
want to play with
quick.
that now.
That's what she said.
Yeah. So what do you think makes? Why do you think some movies fail at making a sequel while others succeed?
I think it's because the quality drops dramatically, and the focus is no longer about the story, and it becomes about the money. They're like, oh, that last money you said the Avengers made, $1.5 billion. So they're like, hey, let's just go make another one. Let's just do it real quick. Now, they did a good job, but I think that's where other sequels are thinking like, hey, we just made a good amount of money. Let's go do this. It's all in people's mind. Let's go make another movie real quick. And they go and they do it, and it's all about just kind of trying to get a movie out there real quick, just try to grab people's, dollars. They're on the hype from the first. Let's get them on the second.
Yeah.
And then,
Which
and
is
then
like what
of course, there is movies out there where they're going to put the quality behind it, and that second one is going to be The Dark Knight. It's going to be a quality movie on the second run, and it's going to take it a step up. You know,
Well, that's why I like what they're doing with the Star Wars movies. They're coming out 2 years after. You know what I mean?
Taking their time.
They're taking their time with it, which is great.
Right.
Which is why I think
2 years is actually kind of quick, to be honest with
that
you.
is quick.
Yeah.
Think so?
Yeah, 2
That's
years is
for a
pretty
movie.
quick.
How long did they take to do the one that they're doing now, or they did now, episode 7?
I mean, it was like 2 years. I mean,
It was
it's why it's so impressive of the quality that they were able to bring and how quickly they were able to do it.
Well, it's J.J. Abrams.
J.J. Abrams, they have Disney behind them. Like they're very smart.
But I think that what you had
usually
said
like
before
3 years.
Play, is that they were like, we're starting to move in a direction where they're making trilogies in these different films. They're starting, like, some films are already on that bandwagon where they've like taken that into consideration. They said, you know what, we're gonna make 3 quality films and be ready for this. Where other ones are, and those are the ones that we say, wow, those are good those are good, sequels to those movies. Where the other ones are like I was saying, they're just not on that same boat. They're just trying to get the quick cash. And those ones we always watch and we go, those sequels sucked. That sucked.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
that movie was just terrible. And it's just because they were trying to get the dollar bill.
Right.
And not because they set it up originally when they were planning to be like 3 films or 2 films or whatever it be to write a good story that would go together and flow.
Right.
Another terrible sequel that it wasn't terrible, but I liked the first one a lot more, was Horrible Bosses. You guys ever seen that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was good.
The first one was great and hilarious. The second one, it just seemed like they were trying too hard.
Yeah.
Just like, okay.
Yeah, but that would be another one of those. That's not a Lord of the Rings. That's not an Avengers. That's not a Dark
Right.
Knight. That's not any of these films that they're planning on making a second one. That's probably was one of those Angry Boss, or what was Horrible Bosses, was
Horrible
one of those
Bosses,
ones.
yeah.
They were like, let's just make a cool comedy. This is gonna be a good one. Oh wow, we made a lot of money. People liked it a lot. Let's make a Horrible Bosses too.
So that's kind of like Hangover, but I don't know
Yeah.
if they actually. I don't think they. I don't know, because I got the sense that Hangover 2 was trying to do it. It's just like some movies can't be made into a sequel without it feeling derivative from the previous one.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
Horrible Bosses was a great concept, but it doesn't necessarily have the depth that Lord of the Rings or these crazy big universes have. So when you go to set out to do a sequel to something like that, you're like, well, how do we? I mean, either
It's
we
story,
change the
like,
format,
It's like story situations,
right?
Yeah,
But
like
it's
how-
called Horrible Bosses, so you
Yeah.
have to do it related to. And Hangover is about getting hungover from the night before,
Yeah.
so you're trapped. Like you have
You're
no
trapped.
depth to what you can do.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
they're-
yeah, all
they
the
don't
rest
look at
were
it as like
horrible.
that, right? So the further we go down there, we're gonna have a Horrible Bosses 3, just because they're like, hey, people still bought into Horrible Bosses 2. Now we might not put it in the movies, and we might make it go straight to DVD.
Yeah, that's where
and
you
make
get
some
that.
money that way.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
still, they're gonna be looking to just make another sequel just to make the money, where it starts
Right.
to like lose and ruin the whole Horrible Bosses 1.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, oh, now you're taking away from it.
What
And
about
now you got a whole new character too. I mean,
yeah,
a whole new
actors? Yeah, it's just
actors
like
and everything on
C-movie at
Horrible
that
Bosses
point.
3. Like, what are you doing? Like, stop.
so
So you-
interesting.
What's funny about is direct to like DVD and stuff like that is back in my early 20s, me and my roommate Matt, we had Blockbuster. That was when they were still around, and they had this
Dang.
deal. When you sign up, you could get any movie on the wall, which is like all the new movies and all that stuff, and you can rent one of those out at a time, and then have 3 out in the middle of the store. So we went and we would.
Kids these days are gonna be like, "What the fuck? You
Oh,
could
I
just
know,
download it." Like,
but
And it has to be a topic at some point. We have to talk.
Yeah, we
about
should talk about this,
Blockbuster
yeah.
and those experiences.
Oh, but it was hilarious because we would sit there and get these horrible movies and watch them and just sit there and have some drinks with some friends. And we watched this movie with Gary Busey called The Gingerbread Man, and it was a horror movie.
Oh.
And it was hilarious. It was terrible. And it's all about a gingerbread man killing people. It's like, who thought of this fucking concept?
they're like, "Look,
Not
the
only
leprechaun
that-
is popular. Let's do it with the gingerbread man."
Well, it's kind of like
it's Chucky.
Frosty. You guys seen that movie, that Frosty the Snowman one?
Yeah,
Like the horror
Jack
movie?
Frost.
Like the Frosty the Snowman like goes into the tub where the girl is and has sex with her and kills her
No.
with his nose. He's like puts his nose down there and like has sex with her and kills her.
Oh
Like
my
it was a
gosh.
horrible movie. Like she was dead.
Can
The
you
thing is
imagine
that-
filming that? All right, guys. This is the scene where the carrot goes up the poo-tang.
All right, prepare to get fucked and
Yeah.
killed by the carrot. So
Can we get the snowman? You're gonna be CGI'd. This is a guy in a green suit with like a fake like long pointy nose. Yeah. For reference, just sticking it down. That's ridiculous.
That's just so crazy. Like,
But what I was gonna say was what we watched was Gingerbread Man 2. So like they made two of them. I'm like,
Oh, was it Gary Busey?
yeah, it had Gary Busey in it.
His
And I'm
smile scares the shit out of me,
He's pretty
anyways.
freaky.
Like, yeah, and he was the voice of the Gingerbread Man. That's what.
Oh, he was.
creepier.
Oh yeah.
We'll have to talk about horror stories too. I mean, like horror movies, things
Yeah.
we've watched that have traumatized us as little children.
Yeah, that's funny. All right,
That's
guys,
some terrible.
Beetlejuice.
let's go on to our next topic here. Do you, if anybody has to go,
I do. I have to go volunteer.
okay.
So
Hold on, let me see.
All right,
So-
that's fine.
You almost ready,
Our
Ben?
How many
next
more
topic
topics do we have?
Is
One
we got
more?
2 more topics. Our next
Okay.
topic is role model as a kid.
Okay.
oh, that's right. I got 10 minutes. Let's do.
I got 20 minutes, guys.
All
He's
right,
got 20 minutes. You can get
wrap
through.
this up.
Okay, so we're just gonna kick
Role
it off.
model.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, role models.
Yeah. So, what role models or
Shit, beanies
people did you
coming
look up to?
As a kid,
Yeah, as a kid.
well, we all said Goku was our number 1 role model.
Yeah.
Eat
Yeah, I mean,
rice,
but that's
train, and always
still
do the right
holds
thing.
So,
That's right.
I mean, no joke. Goku was the shit. Like he was a great. And even when I watch it today and I like rewatch it with my son, I'm like, dude, such good values.
Is your
Such good-
son into Dragon Ball?
Somewhat, not like fully into it. Like he'll watch like one episode and be
Right.
like, okay, that was really cool, but then won't do the whole thing. He's not quite at that age yet where he can like really get into it.
Yeah.
You gotta wait till he's 7 or 8.
I
Are
know.
you pushing it on him?
Alright.
Sounds like you're pushing it on him.
No, we're just like running.
You gotta
through
deliver it to
things,
him at the right time.
Yeah, man, he's not gonna appreciate
Like,
that
here you
shit.
go, we can watch it. Like it's cool. I used to watch it, and like, and let's see
And
what
you
happens.
should be like, yeah, you're gonna watch it like Dad watched it, so you only get
You're
one
gonna watch
episode
it like
a
I
day.
watched it. It's gonna be a marathon. Be ready to go through the entire season 1 today.
No.
There you go, watch it like it is.
So good. No, for real though. It's like got good morals and values. Goku, man, he is a good role model.
Except when it
honestly.
comes to Chi-Chi and like his wife and everything like that.
Yeah, he doesn't do the greatest with that.
Nah.
That's true.
He's kind of a dick.
That's that whole like.
She's like, you leaving again, Goku? And he's like, sorry, Chi-Chi.
He's like,
Oh.
I'm so sorry, but I gotta go for the
She's
next
like, but I
5
have a
years.
baby. He's like, yeah,
Like-
I gotta fight.
You were kind
gotta
of a bitch last night. I'm
But I'm
out.
protecting the world for I gotta go for 5 years to this planet
Yeah.
and do that. So
To be honest, though, she was kind of mean.
she was a little.
She was a little selfish. She was like,
She was-
no, you're not saving the planet.
She was a little. Even as a young kid, I could
Having a kid.
identify that one. I was like, that woman right there is a little bitchy.
Yeah, she is mean. She's mean.
Young kid, like I don't know if I'm gonna find one like that.
I'd want to die 3 times,
That's too
too.
needy. Yeah.
Well,
Other role models, realistic ones,
Realistic
or not
ones.
animated.
No, I was just gonna say the Spider-Man
That could be-
cartoon dude, Peter Parker.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of looked up to him, being smart.
No, I mean,
and-
well,
the
animated
right thing.
could be. It's still a written character that you could definitely see as a role model. You know what I mean? Like
I mean-
somebody built that.
superheroes in general. Like I was always like, dude, I always want to do the right thing. I want to help people. I want to like save if I can. I don't know.
It's funny that you say that. My son likes to play the villain right now. You know,
Oh,
like,
yeah?
and I'm like, so do you want to be like the
fun
villain?
stuff.
I like probe, do different questions, nothing like just straight up in your face.
Yeah.
But it's like he wants to be a good human being, good things, and all this different stuff. But he likes to play the villain, and I'm like, that's kind of cool. Like,
So
he's like, I want to.
I think that's cool because like there was like people like in wrestling. I always liked HBK, right? Like,
Yeah.
but when he became like because he was so cocky and he was the bad guy, like I liked that because I don't normally do that. Like it was a fun
Yeah.
way to like live vicariously through a dick,
Yeah.
a fake
And I think
person
that's,
who's a
I
dick.
think that's him too, though.
Yeah,
you know
that's
what
what
I
I'm
mean?
saying.
Trying to live life vicariously through a villain.
Because
than-
yeah, because
than
you're not really
to
like
always
that.
make the good choices. You
Yeah.
know, I always make the good choices.
Yeah.
Right now, I just want to like be the bad guy.
Right, exactly.
Like, okay.
Yeah.
Then be the bad guy, dude.
It's a good outlet for sure.
You know, one of my role models as a kid was I know like a sports athlete, Mike Allstott. He was a fullback, and I always liked
Yeah.
his playing style, and like he did a lot for the community. At least,
I
you
was
know.
gonna say he was a good guy.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, he actually did good things for the people.
yeah. And I always like kind of looked up to him, and I played football, and I wanted to play just like him. You know that
Yeah.
that was one of my role models. as a
I
kid.
remember that too because he
Yeah.
had that neck pad, and you wanted to get the neck pad because Mike Allstott had it.
Yeah.
It was like so cool though because like Mike Allstott, we got to like we got to meet Mike Allstott together, right? At one point because I
Yeah.
know that I did it like for signatures before too.
Yeah.
This dude really is a good guy. He gives a lot of his money back in the community. He helped a lot of people out. So he's
Unlike-
like not just an awesome like athlete, but like a good person too. You know,
Yeah.
Unlike Ian's
like-
favorite player, Warren Sapp.
Warren exactly on the same team.
Yeah.
Warren Sapp, what a douche. Like, he's good. He can watch our show right now, but
I'm pretty sure he's
everybody
in jail. Didn't he get like allegedly?
will- Oh,
like,
when they
rape
find he can't watch our
allegations?
show, and it serves him
Oh.
right then if that's the case.
Yeah.
Jeez.
He's
Anyways,
not, he's not on TV.
Get off
anymore
that
for
guy
something.
because he's definitely not a role model.
Yeah, yeah.
I would say for me, Lynn Swan was one of the
Really?
receivers for the Pittsburgh Steelers back in the day.
Yeah.
He was a role model for me because like athletics, like Ian too, was a big part of our lives. So like athletes were like a big role model for us to get through what we were doing like on our daily lives and to try to strive to be better at what we were doing at the time.
Yeah.
So growing up, like doing athletics a lot, Lynn Swan was one of those guys that had played the game a little bit differently than others, but played, you know, the uniqueness that he had brought like a whole new approach to how successful he was as playing a receiver. Like he did ballet where other people at the time were like, oh, that's ridiculous. So that's, you know, homo or whatever they were calling him at that time.
Yeah.
And then he's like, you know, call me whatever you want. And then he's jumping. He's, you know,
Watch my
shorter
movements.
guy jumping way over everybody else.
Yeah.
So delicate. Land on his feet, take off running. Was super fast. And he only played for like 3 or 4 years professionally. And in that amount of time did set records that people that had taken 10, 15 years. He had broke some records and set some records that it took people a long time to break.
Yeah.
Just because how well he played.
Do you think that kids should have athletes as role models?
I think it depends. I mean, it depends on like. So for me, I think it worked out really well because athletics was my like
Yeah.
every day at that time. Like, so it was something I could relate to. I think
Yeah.
it just has to be like relatable to the kid in some way or another. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
What's a bad role model? Like, do you remember having like a role model, but it was actually bad? Like you probably
Like, not a
shouldn't have
good one?
admired that
David
person.
Fry.
David Fry.
I looked up to my brother.
But he was bad.
I had one. His name was Blake. When I was like really young, like he was a good. You know, he was. I was always around him. He didn't make good decisions, but he was like, it's kind of thrilling to
This
like
is funny. So
be around.
you both have mentioned people in real life as opposed to these figures that are intangible, really, right? But they are, but they're not to you when you're a
Yep,
kid.
these are real. These are real people. Yeah, like
That's funny.
this guy Blake, man. I remember him.
It's
It
not
was
Blake
definitely one of
Shelton.
those. Blake.
And
Not
what did you
Blake
end up doing? Did you end up like smoking, doing crack? Because
Oh
you,
yeah, all the time.
Got
I
it,
mean,
got it.
that's when he got me
Going
on the
to glory
heroin.
holes.
kick.
Right.
No, you
Right,
guys
right.
did the whole Blood Brothers thing.
Yeah, we did. We did the Blood Brothers thing. We did
And that's
that.
how he got AIDS.
We did like that's how I got AIDS. No, so we were really young. I mean, we did the Blood Brothers thing, and we did like put like dishwasher, into the like the hand soap into the dishwasher, and like made a huge bubbles and stuff like that. Just like did different things that were like not okay, And I knew that they were not good choices, but I was like, I'm with Blake. I can kind of put the blame on him. I can kind of take half of it. He's doing it. I'm the
Was
younger
he an
one.
imaginary friend?
He's just,
No,
I
it
was
wasn't.
kind of thinking my ways out. I was like, my mom's gonna ask me, "Why'd you do that?" I'd be like, I'm the younger one.
oh
I
my
just-
god, he's
Let's put it.
scheming
Let's put it this way.
Yeah.
I knew him when he was younger. I knew him when he was younger when he was Rocco, right? So later on in life, it's funny. I had a girlfriend back in high school, and he actually slept with her when I was going out with her. That's how good of a role model he is.
I did.
No, like,
I was like,
Oh.
I'm like, sure as hell didn't want to fucking lie. You said.
Rocco's like, yeah, I did, and I was just gonna blame it on Blake.
yeah, I was gonna blame it on Blake.
No, dude, this doesn't make sense.
Steven walks in. Rocco, how could you? It's not me. It's Blake. Blake.
It's
It's Blake.
me.
He's wearing a Rocco mask. I gotta go.
Dang, dude, I felt like you didn't tell that story right. It's like you still had,
Yeah.
No,
It's
So
not
that's how
like you
bad of
say
a-
I
Rocco.
was still on home plate. Like you didn't let me go yet. Come on, man.
Oh, that's funny.
No, Blake. Yeah, that's that guy we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, that's funny.
That was not a good role model. Not a good role model.
Not a good
Right?
one. No.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
Remember Blake?
Do you guys?
Huh?
I'm
I was-
trying to
Yeah,
remember.
I don't think you would have. I don't think you would have met him, to
Yeah,
be
no.
honest. He would have been in a different circle.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you guys? Do you guys have role models now? that have
models,
transcended? Like as a kid, you looked at Goku, but do you still have Goku as a role model, or is it like has it evolved to something else?
Rocco's is Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
That's who you
my
want to
sleep.
be, but is there a role model out there that you?
No, yeah, role model. Elon Musk is one of my role models right now.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, like definitely one of my role models right now. He's a guy that's taken a lot of his money and he's doing the real genuine philanthropist route, and he's looking at ways of how he can really make a difference in the world, you know, and not just in one way with one company, but with multiple companies. And he's constantly trying to be, you know, I don't know, just it's like that saying that says that you really can't change anything unless you do it from the inside out. And that's exactly what he's doing and tackling. So I'd say, like, as an adult, he's one of my role models.
Another one for me is Warren Buffett, man. That guy is just really smart, does a lot of good things, and he's like honorable and humble. Like he's willing to be like, look, I am making a lot of money, but it's because I'm extorting, I'm abusing the system in a way like that it's allowing me to. So
Yeah, like he talks about it with his secretary and him having
and
the
he's
same
like
percentage.
he's like, change this. I won't make as much money, but it's for the greater good.
Yeah,
But if you don't,
that's
I'm
a
gonna keep
big deal
doing
to
it.
say that. Like, how many people say that?
Right. Would it not? Right, like yeah. So I thought, I mean, he's smart and he's pretty honorable.
Yeah, I like that one. That's a good one.
Mhm.
Anybody
That's
else
actually
have
was
any
gonna be
adult role models right now?
Hmm.
Well, I mean, I'm surprised none of you guys said it, but I mean, I haven't said who my role model is yet.
Oh,
And say
sorry.
it.
Go ahead.
Let's go.
As my dad.
Oh, yeah?
nice.
Well,
yeah.
there-
Of
Yeah.
course.
You could
It's
do that.
absolutely my dad. Just always looked up to him, and I look up to him even more now that he's gone, because I notice stuff that I do that he did.
Yeah.
I notice I refer back to stuff that's happening now in life, and thinking back of what he did at that situation. Just so many things refer back to him. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. I even as a kid, you know, I really looked up to my dad. You know, my dad did a lot of noble things. I mean, hell, as you guys know, my brother has a different last name. We have different dads, but my dad took the role of my older brother and sister, you know, becoming their father.
Yeah.
You know, and doing a lot of things and providing for the family. So that's definitely one.
You know what's kind of cool with when you think about like the whole father relationship and stuff like that is that like you really can't see a lot of that stuff until hindsight. Like you don't
Right.
really, and not until you like Steve-O said,
through
you
it.
get to the age where you're 30 years old and you're thinking about it all and you're going through it and you're like,
Yeah.
wow, that's why they did what they did. You know, when you're 18,
Yeah.
like you're a fucking dick. You know, and then you look back and you're like, oh shit,
Rocco,
exactly.
that was a pretty good move.
really quick, because I forgot to ask this last time.
Yeah.
Do you have Warby Parker glasses?
No, you know, I, you
Because
know
they
what I
look
do have?
exactly
I have,
like the ones that I have.
no, these I bought from
Oh
glasses.
shit!
It's
Glasses
dirty as
shop.
shit.
They do look the same.
Mine are dirty right now. I gotta wipe them.
No, we're talking about Clay's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got
These look
mine from
old
dude. I
and
got mine
used.
from glassesshop.com. This isn't a shout out or anything. For
You
30 to 50
motherfucker.
bucks. How much did you buy yours for?
Like 70 or 90 or something like that.
Mine was 30 to 50. I believe that was all it was.
I
for
could beat you out
Thanksgiving.
again, man.
Motherfucker.
Glassesshop.com. It was the first time I bought my glasses online, and
Yeah, well, you get what you pay for.
Wait, Clay, take off your glasses again.
you get what you pay for.
See, that's the thing. That's the thing. His look a lot more comfortable because you have like a thing right here.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
whatever.
Clay doesn't have that.
That's from this headphone set. It's
Oh, okay.
pulling it on. I need to have them.
So he paid more, but he got better quality and more comfortability.
All right, guys.
Whatever. Get
Ian's
outta
got to
here.
go, and we have gone on a tangent.
Yeah.
Yes, we have.
We're going to go to our last topic. Ian, if you got a piece.
Yeah, I got
Got
a piece too, guys.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, shit. It's
You got a
just going
piece
to leave
too?
me and Rocco.
Oh, okay. You got 10 minutes.
Do I have to, man?
You got
You have 10 minutes. You got
Okay.
10 minutes, and we're done.
You said, oh my God, I'll tell you when I'm ready, babe.
Okay.
All right, okay. Let's go.
All right, and let's go. So my topic is going to be about participation awards for athletic programs. There's been a lot. I know this is kind of like a little bit of a later discussion. It's kind of was hitting off when Harrison had made a comment about his kids having a participation award, and I actually want to read that one off to you guys real quick.
Who's Harrison?
No. Oh my gosh. I want to keep thinking Harrison Ford now.
I was thinking about
the
Harrison
linebacker
Boyas.
from Pittsburgh Steelers.
James
Okay.
Harrison?
Is it
James Harrison.
Was it James Harrison? Why
Yeah.
do I feel like that doesn't sound right? But anyways, then fine then. James Harrison.
He's a linebacker for middle linebacker for the or outside linebacker for the Steelers for
Yes.
the longest time.
Yes.
He was like
James
punching people
Harrison?
in the back.
Why can't I think of the name? Anyways, yes. Okay, so
Yeah, he's a
he
dick.
did do that.
I hate that.
Yeah. Okay, so here's what he had said, okay? I came home to find out that my boys received 2 trophies for nothing. Participation trophies.
fun.
While I am very proud of my boys for everything they do and will encourage them till the day I die, these trophies will be given back until they earn a real trophy. I'm sorry I'm not sorry for believing that everything in life should be earned, and I'm not about to raise 2 boys to be men by making them believe that they are entitled to something just because they tried their best. Because sometimes your best is not enough, and that should drive you to want to do better, not cry and whine until somebody gives you something to shut you up and keep you happy. So this is what he had said a while back, and that caused a huge discussion about participation awards. Like, should they be involved? You know, should every kid be getting a participation award or not? And a lot of the argument on the side of them not is the idea of entitlement. Saying like it kind of builds this idea of entitlement that just because you're here and just because you're doing this, you just get entitled to it, getting a trophy or an award. Analogy of that was that my wife had said it's kind of like, in a way, like you go to a classroom to go get a grade on a certain test, and I spend a lot of time studying and doing the best that I can to try to know the information and do everything I can, while this other person doesn't do any studying and doesn't care, and they get a really bad grade and I get a really great grade, but we both get like awarded the same way. And I was like, okay, I understand that. Another argument on the side of the participation awards not being a good option is the idea of just there's other ways in which this is a different argument entirely, not the entitlement side, but saying that there's other ways in which the money could get spent within those athletic programs besides just buying every kid an award too as well.
Right.
They can put it in other areas. So I'd like to hear what you guys have to say, because I had the argument on the other side of why participation awards would be okay. So what do you guys think, though? You have a brand new son, Clay, who's gonna maybe get into sports, maybe not get into sports. I don't know what your guys' opinion is with that. Steve, I know the girls aren't in sports as of right now, but if they were, how would you guys feel about your child getting participation awards?
So 3 things, really quick. One, I don't think I get a little perturbed when I hear that the reason why millennials are so self-entitled is because we've raised a generation on people getting awards, like no matter what they do. But I'm a millennial and I did not grow up that way, so that is false. The self-entitlement thing, I think, comes from something different. I think it is more of it's less of a causation than it is a correlation when people are looking at millennials and this idea of
Did you
participation.
receive participation awards?
No,
Did you receive those?
No, that's what I'm saying. I didn't.
No, I never got a
Right. A lot of us didn't. So because this
Yeah.
concept is fairly new. It's in the last 5
Yeah.
years, right?
Yeah.
Or 5-10 years. So that is kind of, I want to throw that out right in the window. 2, I kind of agree with what Harrison is saying in that, getting an award it could feel like you've done what you needed to do, and it's misleading, and like I don't really like that. However, I do not agree with the idea that sometimes trying your best is not acceptable. But because the concept of trying your best is acceptable. I think you should be not necessarily rewarded via trophy, but acknowledged. That because there's a big difference between trying your best and not trying your best, and trying your best should absolutely be rewarded, whether it's verbal praise or acknowledgement. It doesn't necessarily mean you should get a trophy or the equivalent of someone who actually has done better than your best, because I think that is what drives you to continue to go forward. It's about learning lessons. It's about accepting that you tried your best, or else you're going to.
On that point, real quick, let me actually say something, because that's good what you're saying. So this is the argument for it, which is kind of what you're saying right now. They believe that the participation trophies teach a worthwhile lesson, which is there's something to teaching kids that is worth keeping a commitment, that we value this. Winning and losing is not a lesson that kids need to search out and to find. It's everywhere. But they also need to learn how important it is that everyone shows up.
Yeah, but the problem is that it's the presentation, right?
Yeah.
the kids are being presented something that is the equivalent of doing the absolute ideal and best thing, which is a trophy. So instead of a trophy, maybe there's something else that they can acknowledge that these kids have. Like, I mean, so much goes from just a coach bringing everybody together and being like, look, we lost today because of X, Y, and Z, but damn it, I noticed every single one of you got out there and gave it your all, and you gave it your all like this whole season. You came to every practice. We stayed extra. We tried our best, and that's amazing. And we're going to take this, and we're going to come back next year, and we're going to learn from our mistakes and our lessons, and we're going to push ourselves even further now that we've set the bar even higher. So you guys should absolutely be proud of that. We didn't win the trophy, but we're going to come back, and we're going to try next year. Like,
Yeah.
I think, I don't know. It doesn't have to be a trophy or like some kind of certificate, but it absolutely should be acknowledged in some way. And I know, and I don't know, the participation trophy is a little bit lazy. Like, it's a little bit like, all right, just give everybody a trophy because everybody's upset or whatever. It's like, well, do more than that. Like,
So the reason why they're saying that too is not that everyone's upset, but they're saying that in a way it's a motivator to try to get kids to participate in sports more, to learn to improve their skills and help others, like to make sure that they're coming back and they're trying to do it and do different things. Because they're also saying too, let's not forget that they are young kids.
That's
Okay,
true.
so think about the ages that kids still believe in Santa Claus or the Tooth Fairy as a rule of thumb.
Yeah.
That is the age when a gold participation trophy seems to be quite magical as well at the same time. Now, a lot of research is showing that it doesn't have an effect by the time you get to an older age, by your tweens, your early teen years.
Yeah,
It has no effect over you anymore. You have an understanding of the world around you, what this is, what that is, and you know what it takes to have to strive hard to be able to get.
and that was my
an
first
award.
point. I don't
But at
think.
a younger age, they're saying that it's still a very magical thing. To get this little participation trophy is actually a really big deal to these little kids.
Yeah.
As in, like, getting them to get back into sports, showing them that teamwork is good, showing them that the commitment, the dedication is good. I just, at the same time, I'm kind of like on the fence about this one too. Like,
Yeah.
it's like maybe it's a different presentation, like you are saying, maybe something else. Because I also think though that the kids that are striving unbelievably hard and they're working off, not practice time, and they're out there throwing the ball and they're getting better and they're doing all these different things. Like, I know that they get the awards usually at the end of the years that are like the MVP or the best improved player or this and that. And there's only about 5 awards that would be handed out in a team of 20-something kids.
Right.
And I do kind of agree with that in a sense. That
Yeah.
it's like, okay, you are really being awarding those kids that are striving extremely hard. The participation one, it's like maybe there is a way of approaching that and showing the kids like some other form or another.
These
But still at the
participational-
same time, like keeping those kids involved in sports and letting them know that even though that they weren't the most improved and they didn't try that hard, but they were out there every day and they were dedicated and they were committed.
Well, can they be all those things and still not, quote, try hard? Like, if they didn't try hard, then yeah, I don't agree that they should get a trophy.
That's what I'm wondering. Like, is
Yeah.
the participation award? Does it just say, "Thanks for participating"?
that's pretty
your
much
award, is
all
that what it
is.
says?
It's pretty much just like a.
I mean, why don't
like
you
right.
just make up like stats, like certain things, like
Yeah.
like I don't know, like say like I don't know, I was a nose guard. Remember when I was playing football? Like, what if they're like, oh, you got this many sacks, or you
Yeah,
pushed
dude.
this many guys out of the way? I mean, at least you can put something and say on paper what
Yeah.
they did instead of just saying, hey, thanks for participating.
Whatever
You know what I
sport it is, give them
Yes, it would
that
be-
equivalent of a football card or
mean?
baseball
Yeah,
card.
something like that.
With
Or-
Maybe
their
something like that.
picture and then their stats and like their when you at the end of Call of Duty, this is probably the best example. You might have not
That would
won.
actually be a really cool one. I remember that they did that
Yeah.
when we were young, in T-ball ages and stuff like that. They
Yeah.
gave you like a little card. That would be a great
and
idea.
it just shows your stats. I mean, it doesn't have to be an award, but I mean, it's still like this is this is what you did, this is what you accomplished this year.
Right.
Try and beat it next year.
It's like an accomplishment award.
Yeah.
Like,
So yes,
This is what you
accomplishments award,
accomplished.
yeah.
That'd be pretty cool.
So
yeah.
on top of that, when you play Call of Duty, when you lose or you win, you get a badge that's badges that specifically highlight what you did. They also highlight what you did wrong. So like you could have been like the guy who died the most, or the guy who was most prone, or the guy who got the most sniper kills. So on the back of the card, it should be like your accomplishments and then things to work towards. So like,
Yeah.
hey, you were kind of slow. Like let's
Kinda
see.
slow.
But
That's your-
spin it to something that goals for next year. Get faster.
and it's
get
possible
more,
too
like,
with the
baskets.
technology today and everything like that
Yeah.
too. So
Because I think that's so important for kids learning, like not only to praise them for what they did right and like actually acknowledge their accomplishments, but be like, look, this is also things we should like these are
Work
lessons
on.
learned. And
This
things
is
that
what
we
you're
should
gonna work on.
Yeah,
work on.
And I know that might sound taboo or be like, oh no, the kid would be upset. But it's like, no, man, like that's how the world works. Get them used to like looking forward to doing something even more. Like, what's the next? Like, even winners who get the trophy.
I like that idea though. I think that would be a better idea than the whole trophy. I mean, because I'm looking at the trophy right now and it says 2000. This is just one of like obviously everybody does something different because some of theirs can probably say, participation award. But this one right here just says 2015 best of the batch, next level athletics, student athlete award. And I'm just thinking next level athletics is the program where they were involved in. So it's like best of the batch. Next level athletics student athlete award is what all it says. So it's just a trophy with just like some general broad, thing.
Because that's where the
announcement.
That's where the hurt can actually, like the negative effect can actually come in. I mean, like, yeah, you teach a kid that just by like showing up is enough is not. I don't know.
That's not. That's the only part that I have the problem with too. Is that's not always enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, now granted they're younger age and different stuff like that, and we don't need to make them adults right away. But at the same time, we do have to be instilling some lessons for life later on. That hey, that when you get to whatever it is you love and you're passionate about, and you want to do that, it's not going to just take some mediocre thing to be able to achieve that dream that you want. It's not going to be able to just show up and that's it. You're going to have to work.
Just showing
up
up to
hard,
preschool is not enough if you're not if you're not being with the other kids and like doing those things,
and you're never going to learn.
Yeah.
What about in professional sports? Like how like, people go to the just say like what's the thing in football? The Super Bowl. Anyways, you know the backup quarterback who's never done anything the entire year, and just because he's on the team, he gets a whatever.
Relatively speaking,
Super Bowl
but he still
ring.
does stuff. Yeah, he gets a ring.
So what does he do?
He's just on a practice team.
Yeah, I mean, he's working. He's also got the clipboard. He's like helping. Like, hey, I'm noticing from my side. I'm noticing the defense does this, that, and the other thing. You guys want to do like he participates in the huddles and conversations when the defense is on there, and he's with the. Main
What about the
quarterback.
third string quarterback?
I mean, he's trying to just learn and be ready. Third string
So he
quarterback
gets a
doesn't
Super
do a
Bowl. He
lot.
still gets a Super Bowl.
But he gets a
But he's-
participation award.
He gets a Super Bowl ring. Yeah.
Which is a Super Bowl
I mean,
ring.
the fact of the matter is that it's not just the things that you do on Sunday; it's the things that you do on Monday through Friday. So he's his job is to work with the other third stringers to help, because he's responsible with interacting in an offense and particularly a defense by doing the offense of the second and third strings and getting them prepared and knowledgeable about their offense and the defense they want to run, so that when somebody else besides the quarterback goes down and that next person has to come up, that wide receiver's like, dude, I work with so and so, the third string quarterback. I know the offense. He's a really great quarterback. He was able to articulate everything in a way that I can understand. So
it's like a participation award then.
No, but I mean, he's doing a lot of work. He's
still doing it, but
participating.
But
Sure.
it's okay with that. I mean, yeah, I don't mind giving participation awards either out to people like that if they were actually working hard and doing things that they needed to do. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that at that point it's too much of an issue. The part that I have a problem is the people that just show up and that's it.
Yeah.
They think because they just showed up, they get awarded. Like he's saying, the third string QB, he's still doing things. Yeah, he's not on the field making the end game decisions and making that touchdown happen. And he might have some type of influence when that all goes down. But he is there Monday through Friday, working with the team, constantly putting his time in, trying to make everybody all as a team better. So when a team is successful, he's a part of that team. He gets
didn't really know
rewarded too
that.
as well. But if this was just some guy that was standing on the sidelines, never did anything, didn't participate, doesn't do Monday through Friday, doesn't give a shit about the team, doesn't even really want to be there, but is there and still gets rewarded, that's when I'm kind of like, eh. And there's going to be people like that on those teams. There's going to be those people. And that's deeper than just a trophy issue. That's a psychological issue that needs to be found and fixed and solved within society or in an individual. But that's not going to be, I don't think that the trophy situation is going to, I think you're going to get those people anywhere. And that you can't really, I don't know. I like the idea about making the card. What did we call that, though? You said it wasn't participation. It was like a valuation award or something like that.
I mean, achievement card or
achievement card. That was a good word for it. Like achievement card shows you what you've done. Your goal is to get to the next year. You ran the 40 and
yeah, you were the fastest kid.
6.5. You want to run it eventually next year. Your goal is for 6.
Yeah.
So
I mean. Yeah, and we had this thing at work where you could give achievements out to other employees and stuff, and there was like the ninja. he's a guy who like goes and helps other teammates and lifts them up and like or disciplines and lifts them up. And then there's like the high quality guy. He's like his stuff is just consistently great. And then there is like I don't know, leadership and all this other stuff.
And
So
you're
there's-
able to pass out those awards.
Yeah, yeah,
How did
and, like,
everybody
as to
else
why.
feel when they didn't get the award?
they were fine. It made everybody want to like. It made me personally want to be like, ah, man, what?
I want a participation award.
Yeah, well, you want to like work towards so that you can
Give
be
me
acknowledged and stuff.
something, Clay.
Yeah, okay, so I understand that, you know, you want to work hard and work towards it, but then what happens when you know you worked your ass off and all this other stuff like that, and then you didn't get one the next year?
Well, that's a failure in my opinion by people who are supposed to be looking out for that and acknowledging that.
Yeah.
That's just a failure on their part. Because yeah, that
Well, that's
sucks.
good then. I mean, well, you know, and you've obviously probably been taught that, you know, there's always a reason for something and everything like that. But some kids, like, nowadays that are on Adderall and all this other antidepressants and stuff like that, they just can't handle it, dude. So, I don't know. But
Can't handle what? Like not getting an award?
failure. Yeah.
Oh, failure.
Dude,
I guess
still can't.
I mean, if
handle
they look
failure,
at,
though, like I get pissed.
I'm in a
off
bit
at
of a-
failure.
oh yeah,
Dude, you
League
know
of
this.
Legends.
I lose, and I'm like, fuck. I'm pissed.
Yeah.
yeah, but also when it's like your computer memory was like messing up and everything, you're like, oh, there's really nothing I can do about this, you know. It's
I'm
just
growing.
computer.
I'm still growing and learning.
I'm
like,
growing.
yeah,
He's
old
like,
Clay
yeah,
would be
but
pissed
bro,
off at
I'm
that.
growing. Like I gotta change it.
But, yeah,
This computer's going out the window.
I
this-
can't wait to get a new
This
computer. Anyway,
Gotcha. I like that though because it's just participation award, man. It's obviously an important thing that's going on, and it's gonna have an influence on children and stuff like that. And got to figure that one out.
Yeah.
Still stuck on the fence though. I like the idea of the achievement award.
you should swing.
I like that.
You should like send that concept over. I think.
Yeah,
that would be
right.
really good.
Like send it to a
Achievement card award, yeah.
Yeah,
send it
man.
to like a little league company and just have them try that out and see what they think for that year, or like especially a one that's already opposed to like the participation award.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you're gonna be a little bit more. You got to still do something.
I
you
can
know,
see
whatever
them
it
trying
be,
to
like-
say something like,
It's a glorified
like, oh,
report
who's going to
card.
be taking the stats? Like, who are we going to be
It's a
paying to take the
glorified
stats?
report card. That's all
Yeah.
it is. You got a picture on it, and otherwise it's a report card.
Yeah, but it's cool because it's like a fucking.
And that would be cool for
It's a
them.
sports
They'd
card.
be like, oh, every year I get my souvenir
you
like
collect them.
card, and I collect my cards to
Yeah.
find out how I improved over the years, and
Hell yeah.
you know.
Oh,
That's
that'd be really cool to have later on in life.
Yeah, Steve's like, shit. I want pharmaceutical.
I want an
I want
achievement
something
award.
like that.
yeah.
I want achievement awards.
Yeah, maybe you can do something like that for Uncle Neil's team or something.
That's what I was thinking. Like if something like that.
That'd be
could-
pretty
yeah,
cool.
could
And
work
just
that out.
start it and don't even like say anything, but at the end of the year, just do
And
it
then
and then see
introduce that
see what happens
to the
like,
leagues.
after. That'd be pretty
Like,
cool.
here's what happened with us. We did this. Here's a little.
If
Study.
you do end up doing it, I would really like to touch base after it's all done. And
Yeah,
see how
seriously, that'd be really cool.
That could work.
do a little experiment. All right,
What is-
guys, this has been another episode of the Everything and Nothing Show. As always, you can find these videos on youtube.com/MaelstromGamers channel, Monday through Friday, topic by topic. All 5 topics are rolled up into one episode on Saturday. All of that is free. You can support us for free on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and our YouTube channel by commenting, liking, subscribing, and following. If you have an extra buck, an extra 100 cents lying around, and you find yourself
99.
coming back to us often or entertained, please throw us $1, as little as $1, on patreon.com/MaelstromGamers channel,
Don't throw it at us though.
or on YouTube. It's greatly appreciated. It goes right back into the show. We're starting to build some stuff, so we're actually going to hopefully be generating some new things here in the future,
Yeah.
including some guests, including some marketing stuff and whatnot.
got
So
it.
I'm super excited about that. So until next week, we'll have another episode for you. Keep thinking about everything and nothing. It's been an honor to entertain you. Peace. and
One
take-
thing too, as well, guys.
I can't wait to do that. I can't wait.
One
to
thing
do
too,
that.
guys. Hey, guys, we appreciate the money. Everybody loves that and stuff too. But what we appreciate more is we love that feedback that we've been getting, the comments and stuff like that. It gets us like involved too in being able to have like an interactive, on point conversation where it's live. And I like that. So
For
keep
sure.
those coming too as well, guys. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
And we're having guests in a couple weeks too.
Yeah, yay.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Peace. Take care. channel, and then the full episode is on Saturday. If you guys would like to get that early and exclusively, you can hop on to patreon.com/maelstromgamers, throw us a couple bucks like David Fry did the other week, and you'll get a bunch of rewards just like that. If you don't have money, you can support us for free as well on our Facebook page, at Maelstrom Gamers at Twitter, at Maelstrom Gamers on Instagram, and you can also go to our YouTube channel and comment, like, subscribe. A lot of people are doing that, so I'm going to keep saying this. This is working. Like, I'm getting more and more like comments. I'm getting more and more likes and follows. So I really appreciate the people that are doing that, and keep it up, guys. Rocco, you look like you're going to say something.
Do a good job.
Oh, I am saying things. You just can't hear it. They can hear it, but they can't really hear it.
I know.
You know, subconscious.
Yeah, okay.
That's pretty.
So that's it. We're going to go kind of quickly because I know people have to leave a little early.
Subscribe.
So we're gonna start. First topic is Civil War reactions.
Okay.
I and Steve-O over here were able
Okay.
to see this movie. Ian was not, and
I wasn't
Rocco
either.
won't see this movie until maybe it's on like discount at
Red
the
box.
red box
Mm.
thing.
Yeah,
VHS.
that's just becomes my life nowadays.
Yeah.
Kids.
No, I hear you. I know. Slowly like sinking into that quagmire as well.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
let me tell you about my experience seeing Civil War.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So,
Go
my
ahead.
wife and I had plans for about a week to go on a date night. So she's like, okay. She looked up the movie time. She picked the restaurant. We went. She goes, yeah, it starts at 8. It starts at 8. I was like, okay. So we sit there. We have dinner. We're wasting time because I was like, man, we have another 30 minutes. So we just sat there, had a beer, and then we go to the movie theaters, and then we walk up and we're like, hey, and it's one of those nice ones like Steve-O, you know,
Yeah.
it has the recliners and they serve you stuff.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was-
How did you bring your gorilla?
So in my mind,
Tell you what, it
Yeah.
would have been fine. Had he done that.
I would not have sat in the front row.
By the way, I
So-
talked to some people about that conversation we had. They enjoyed it very much.
so did
Yeah.
I. So did I.
I watched it several times, the episode, but All right,
So we get there. Yeah. So the movie started at 7.
Every Black Panther it's very mystical, but each like king of Wakanda takes Black Panther as a mantle, and when they do that, they do it when their father dies. So when they become king, they inherit this Black Panther mysticism, and with it they inherit every past Black Panther's like knowledge and strength, so
Oh,
they just
cool.
keep getting stronger, and so that's why he can like jump down and run as fast as cars and be very, very agile and stuff. And so because he's also got like
Is
mystic
it like Superman's like cell like mutation like or not mutation but
more like Captain
evolution, but it could be absorbed like instantaneously once that person's passed kind of deal. Like
kind of
their
yeah, and you
cells just like learn more and more knowledge and more knowledge, learn be quicker.
I mean,
faster.
there's smart individuals as it is. Like
Yeah,
T'Challa's
their
just a smart dude
technology's like
anyway,
the
right?
furthest. Yeah.
But yeah, they certainly get in that, and then they get like the Panther totems and stuff like that that like help them. So there's a lot of mysticism going on there. On top of that, they have vibranium, right, which is where this is found. It's what Captain America's shield is made out of, and then they use the actual materials to woven the Black Panther suit. It's woven with vibranium.
Was that what's his name was looking for then? The metal guy, the robot.
Ultron.
Yeah.
Vol-
It
yeah,
might have been. I don't know why
Ultron
he
was
was in.
Ultron looking for that metal? Wasn't that what it was on the ship in that last
Yeah.
movie that they were fighting him?
It was, yeah.
Okay,
That's
yeah.
what he made. That's what he made his suit out of.
Yeah, and that's why it's like the most powerful metal. Like I think it actually rivals adamantium. I'm pretty sure it
Okay.
can. But
It does.
so the Black Panther suit is all woven with that stuff. So like in the trailer and in the movie, you see Black Panther chase the Winter Soldier, and this helicopter shoots it with its Gatling gun, and he just stands there and eats it because vibranium could just like stop it instantly, right?
So they
Jesus.
portrayed his character really well then.
Dude, yeah.
From what I'm hearing.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
played really good.
Because
And
I mean, in the clips that I was seeing, it looked like he looked like it was an awesomely shot film and stuff like that. I just had not known the backdrop to this character yet.
The two things that stand out to me in this film is that Black Panther is a bona fide and filled with unadulterated badassness, and Spider-Man is the most entertaining thing ever. Like those two guys.
so-
Which he should be. Honestly, Spider-Man
Yeah.
should be that way. That's the way that everyone
Yeah.
wants to see Spider-Man.
Yeah,
So this is a good Spider-Man.
Dude,
it's a
this
good
is the
Spider-Man.
best. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everyone in between, and I say that everyone in between, I'm going to pause there for just a second.
Oh, jeez, I know what you're gonna say.
because fuck North Carolina and that
Yeah,
stupid law.
crazy.
We could talk about that some other time. And everyone in between, welcome to the Everything and Nothing show. I'm just one of your hosts with the mostest, Clayton Kisco, and I'm accompanied, of course, by the rest of the Maelstrom Gamers. With us on this podcast today, we have the Heartthrob,
Oh, I'm gonna go
a.k.a.
first.
Backdoor.
He was like, "You made a hooting noise."
Yeah, I switched it up.
AKA the back door. Dude.
AKA
Stop
back
giving
door.
me that.
AKA backdoor, AKA
AKA
blue headphones.
Blue
AKA
headphones. You can give me
Man
that one.
Bun,
Got another blue shirt.
Oh, where's the man bun? No man bun.
AKA
Oh yeah,
Blue
I saw that shirt. Be honest, I saw that shirt, and I was like, Rocco's gonna get that shirt.
I was just
so I'm
trying
not
to-
The
gonna get it.
man
really
who's too
trying
hot
to
to
show you
freeze
the
and too
shirt.
cool to
Did
melt.
you just shake your tits at us?
Yes, you did. Do it again. Yeah, there you go.
AKA shit tit shaker.
Oh man.
Rocco Avellino. How you doing, Rocco?
Oh, I'm doing good. Look at stretching.
Yeah.
Thank you. And next up, we have the man formerly
The
known
legend.
as the Man in the Mask, the Enigma. He is the wild card, Ian Kane.
Oh,
What's going on, fellas?
Check
Perfect
his
pal
phone.
forever.
Wow, card.
The
All right,
wild
guys, I think we
card.
should probably get started. Oh wait,
Oh,
I
you didn't-
totally forgot.
What,
Wait,
what
we
about
got-
Steven?
No, no, no.
No, no, it's okay.
Yeah, fuck it. Fuck it, look.
What you
Let's
want?
skip.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
Don't need to introduce me. It's okay.
It's your favorite.
Hey, do you guys hear
podcast
another
host,
voice somewhere?
Mr.
I
League
mean,
of
I-
Legends with Steve-O himself, the bad boy, Steve Landis.
I already did it. No, it's okay. I already-
He's not even gonna. Okay, fine. All right,
Okay.
fine. Shit.
It's like I'm done with it. Dude.
Good. I don't even care.
All right,
All right.
I didn't even
move on.
Oh, it's too late. Can't do it.
Just joining us for the very first time, allow me to break this down very simply and very quickly. We are Maelstrom Gamers, and we hop on a Skype every week with 5 topics for our discussion, but more importantly, for your entertainment. Each topic is doled out onto YouTube Monday through Friday, topic by topic, on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/maelstromgamer.
And 30. And I'm like, oh. And normally what the
Preview
trailers
starts.
and everything are like 20 minutes or so.
Yeah.
So I sat there and like at that point it was like 8:05, 8:10. So I was like, okay, yeah, like I already missed like the beginning and I don't want to just jump in there. So my wife was like, I swear I looked up the movie times. I was like, no, you didn't. So she pulls it up and it had the day after, the next
Oh,
day's
no.
movie times. I was like, you didn't notice the date?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That
So-
sucks, man.
Big
So,
fail.
and I told her that we had plans on making this our topic. So she's like, well, we can go to another movie theater. I'm like, I'm not driving even further to go see the movie now. I said,
Because
no.
he doesn't care enough, people out there. You guys watching, he doesn't care enough. Look at you.
Yeah.
Would have. You were dedicated, Ian.
He would have been
She
there.
was
He would have
dedicated.
checked
She was-
himself
She
and
was
then
more
gone.
dedicated. She was like, listen. We will find another theater, Ian. We will make this happen for you. I'm not gonna be the one that ruined this. And you're like, no, fuck that. You fucked it up now.
You
I'm
ruined
done.
it.
You ruined it. There's no fixing this.
So,
You owe me something later on.
then with that said, Steve,
That's exactly what he was looking for.
what did you think about the movie, Steve?
I actually liked it. I liked that it had more of a storyline to it. It kind of had like a DC
Hold on. Before he goes into this, I haven't seen it, but I have seen some stuff on Civil War. Can I speak about that first before he goes in depth?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, because
Okay.
you guys haven't seen it, let's treat this like an AMA and ask me anything,
Okay.
and like you two
So,
guys just ask questions.
I was watching Chelsea, her TV show on Netflix, and one of her interviews was with the Black Panther, I guess it was.
Yeah.
This is supposed to be like the first, like the Black Panther, the comic book as he was, I guess, was like the first black comic book character.
Yep.
If I'm correct. Okay.
First major.
Yeah. So she was doing an interview with him, and it seemed pretty cool because it was showing little different segments of the video. But I was really unfamiliar with who he is as like a superhero. But that's really like. It was showing me that in Civil War it has like a lot. They're obviously going to be introducing other comic book characters that I might not even be aware of.
Mhm.
Yeah,
That it was kind of piquing some interest. But if you could explain real quick, who is that character? Do you know or?
Yeah.
Take it away, Clay.
Yeah, so the Black Panther is T'Challa, I believe is correct.
Mhm.
It's T'Challa and T'Challa? I don't know. He has a dad that was also,
T'Challa?
yeah, was also a Black Panther. Basically, the idea was that like he was created around like the 1960s during the Civil Rights Movement. They wanted to really have an African American represent you know, and be like elite. Like there was a bunch of African American superheroes, but they were like the Black Bolt and like, you know, obscure sea level guys, right? Then comes along Stan Lee and Steve Ditko, and they create Black Panther, and they just want to make him like a boss, right? Like let's make him his own guy. He's not a sidekick. He's not some like just like side idea. And then they also wanted to root him, which is interesting, but they wanted to root him in traditional African culture. So they made up this city called Wakanda. And there's an interesting juxtaposition here. They're the most advanced technology-wise, but they still have a ton of like old tribalistic cultural stuff going on. Like even though they have like vibranium, which is I'll get to that in a minute, but a major export, and they have like all this like crazy tech and computers and stuff. They still like wear headdresses and like dance and like so while they're super advanced,
they keep their culture, but they keep advancing the technology though.
We just lost Steve-O for a second.
Sorry,
Steve-O's
I'm
gone.
still here.
We don't need the bad boy. He's gone.
And
We
so
didn't introduce him, so it's okay.
and what was interesting is they actually like oh man, I think what was interesting is that shortly after the Black Panther movement actually became pretty heavy, and then to avoid any like, because Black Lives Matter, although it has a section of it that is very noble and not driven by violence, it's actually got a lot of people who are taking that movement, calling it their own, and doing very violent things with it. So it's very muddy, and that's kind of what the Black Panther movement was back in the '60s. And so for a little while there, because Marvel wanted to get away from anything politically dangerous, they actually changed Black Panther's name to like Black Jaguar or something like that, or just Panther. Or something like that.
Black.
Yeah, it's, you know, so that was just an interesting tidbit, but like he's a boss. Basically, vibranium is their main export. His whole suit. Well, so the other thing is that like